Good evening, everybody. Are we live?
We're live.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Association of Network Marketing Professionals Millionaire Hangout. I am your host, Carlos Marin. I will be guiding you along this journey tonight, and I want you to understand that if we don't do it perfect, we are all newbies at Google Hangout. So we are, we've been practicing today, trying a few different things, and so if we're not perfect, please forgive us. But what I can guarantee you is that the information that you are going to receive tonight is going to be absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, world class. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, ladies and gentlemen, because the team that I am honored to be working with for this event tonight, they are every single one of them, beyond a shadow of a doubt, are superstars. And I mean superstars. We're talking here about the cream of the cream. I mean, these folks, these ladies and gentlemen that we are working here tonight, I mean, they are at the top of our profession. And you might sit here and go, well, why in the world would you guys, bring all this firepower and all these, top income earners, these top millionaires, these top people in the profession? Why would you bring them on and do a free event when these people all get paid upwards of $10,000, $15,000 for a speaking engagement? And the reason that we're doing this is because all of us are very, very committed to the Association of Network Marketing Professionals. All of us, as you will see tonight, started out in this profession as broke people, okay? We didn't have any clue, didn't know how we were going to be able to create our dream life, and we found this profession, and we found some mentors, and we found some people that guided us and showed us the way, and because of that, we love this profession, and we're totally committed to raising the standards of excellence and ethics in this profession. And we live in crazy times, right? The information is rampant out there, the internet, and anybody can stand on a soapbox and do and say whatever. And so we want to make sure to protect this profession for our families, for our children, for our children's children. And so this is our way of giving back. This is our way of just really taking things to a whole new level and helping and teaching people in this industry how to be professionals. I've taught people for many, many years that if you really want to be successful, if you want financial freedom, if you want to be a millionaire, you must be a professional in anything that you do. The most successful people in any industry, in any business, are the professionals in that business and that industry. And that is what we're doing here with the ANMP. We are building the professionals, the professionalism, and the professionals that are going to take this industry and this profession in the next several decades to a place that I'm telling you, it's going to really, really blow your mind. So let's just dive in here because, like I said, we got a lot of firepower, and I'm just eager to hear what some of my buddies here, and I've known these people, some of them for 10, 15 years, and some of them I'm just getting to know the past year or two. But I'm just totally impressed, and whenever they're speaking, I'd really want to shut up and listen to what they're saying. So with that introduction, I want to introduce you to the first person that we're going to be talking with here tonight. And this guy has an unbelievable story. I mean, an unbelievable story, because he was 10 years in this industry. 10 years in this industry without sponsoring one single person. Now let me ask you a question. Would you have quit? I don't know. I don't know that I'm good enough to last 10 years without being able to sponsor anybody, but he didn't give up. He didn't give up, and then one day the lights came on. And when they came on, I mean, he did it in a really, really, really big way. And he is the #1 income earner in his company right now. He has a massive global organization, and I mean massive. And you need to take out a pen and paper, and you need to listen to his story and what he's going to teach you. And by the way, each and every one of us tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to teach you our best secrets for building an organization, a massive organization, and recruiting. So each one of us has a different angle, comes from a different point of view, but these are all the secrets of what you could call the rich and famous in network marketing. So with that, I'm going to introduce you to a guy who's becoming a very good friend of mine very quickly over the past couple of years, my good friend, Jordan Adler.
Hey, Carlos. Thank you so much for that. And, you know, I can remember, you talked about the first 10 companies. I can remember back in the 90s, early 90s, before, you know, there wasn't even conference calls going on. I mean, this was before conference calls. And today we have the ability to pull a group of people together with thousands of people from all over the world listening in. It's just a very exciting time that we live in for network marketing. What I want to do over the next few minutes is talk about how to accomplish any dream. And, you know, you guys know my story. I did spend 10 years, 11 different companies, never signed up a single distributor. And then I kind of figured it out, and I've applied a formula. It's a very simple 4-step formula that I'm going to go over that you can apply to anything. In fact, I'll tell you just a quick story. I'm here in Las Vegas. I've got a place, a condo right here on the Strip, and it looks north and south on the Strip with floor-to-ceiling windows. And all day and even in the evening, I watch these helicopters, you know, giving tours of the Strip. You got to understand something. I grew up in a neighborhood where there wasn't a single person in our neighborhood that made over $30,000 a year. And the thought of it was completely out of my realm of possibility to even consider being in a helicopter, or much less flying a helicopter. But as I was standing in the condo, I looked out and I'm watching these helicopter tours, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to be able to, when distributors came to town, to be able to jump in my helicopter and give them a tour of the Strip, or take a ride out to the Grand Canyon or something like that. It just for whatever reason it popped into my mind. And there's a formula that I've applied to my network marketing business that I've noticed that every single successful network marketer, every successful business owner does this. In fact, the first time I was in a home of a billionaire. His name's Kenny Trout, and one of the things I noticed is that on his coffee table there were magazines with jets and ranches and all these things, and horse training and breeding facilities, these magazines. And I realized that, you know, he's a billionaire, and he does the same thing. He's a dreamer. You know, he thinks about, you know, what he wants to create in his life. And sometimes those things we want to create are things that at the moment we discover them, we don't really truly believe that it's possible for us, but it's something that we want. So I'm going to go through them very quickly. We don't have a lot of time. The first one is you want to write it down, and this is nothing new, but it's something that it's a step that most people leave out. In fact, this is kind of like what I'm going to go over is kind of like a phone number. If you leave one number out, the number's not going to go through. So if your phone number is 60, if I want to call you and your number is 602-850-4341, and I put in 602-850-4241, that number is not going to go through. If I leave out a number, it's not going to go through. Well, these 4 steps, all 4 of them are important. So the first one is you want to write down what you want. And, you know, we talk about that in a lot of the seminars. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. The second thing is you want to schedule it. You know, I was at a seminar years ago. It was a communications course, and the seminar leader said that consider that if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. If it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. So the second thing you want to do is you want to write it into your calendar. So as I was standing in the condo looking at these helicopters thinking that would be a cool thing to do, that night I got on my computer and I Googled helicopter schools in Las Vegas. And I found a helicopter school, and I actually...
You still there?
Yeah. Hear it?
No, sorry.
Oh, I heard you. I thought you were saying something to me, Gary. So the second thing you want to do is schedule it. So you want to put it on your schedule. So I Googled a helicopter school, I found a school, and I scheduled what we call a discovery flight, where you go in and they give you a tour of the helicopter, you get to hold the controls and take a little flight, and they tell you all about it, and then you schedule your first lesson. So, you know, in your network marketing business, it's the same thing. What do you want? What's your dream? Write it down. Write that dream down. It's important to do that. The second thing is you want to schedule the first step, and what that means is put it in your calendar. The third thing is you want to trust the process. You know, as I stood here in the condo and I looked out, I started thinking there's hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of people that fly helicopters. I don't know what the actual number is, but there's lots of people that do it. And so I figured, if I could trust the process and just know that if hundreds of thousands of people have done it before me, then I possibly could do it too, if I just followed the process. So what's the process? What's the first step? Taking the first step. If you go into a karate school and you say, I want to be a third-degree black belt, and you say, what does it take to be a third-degree black belt? Well, the first thing you've got to do is schedule your first lesson, and then you've got to schedule your next few lessons, and you've got to learn your kicks and your punches. But they're not going to teach you to be a third-degree black belt until you get your kicks and your punches in place. And you have to just trust the process that there's people that have done it before you. In network marketing, there are 8 million people in the United States alone that make $100,000 a month or more. And many of those people do it in network marketing. So you want to trust the process that others have done it. And if others have done it, even though their circumstances may be different than yours, everybody has a different set of circumstances. If others can do it, then you can do it too. And then the last one is one of the most important. It's the one where a lot of people miss it. They miss the boat, and it's something that, for 10 years I quit my companies. I joined, I'd get discouraged after a few months, and I quit. And I learned that quitting is not a great strategy for success. Number 4 is see the job through. And I got that from the billionaire guy I talked about earlier. He used to talk about how to be successful in business, and he'd always talk about seeing the job through. In other words, don't stop until it's done. And I do want to just say one thing, and Carlos, tell me if I'm going over time. Just jump in, but I do want to. Okay,
you're good. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sounds good. So I do want to say this. So I've been in this process of learning to fly helicopters now for about 1.5 years, and I've been working on passing my written test, and I've been studying here and there, and you need to get 70% to pass, and you need to have 90% if you want them to kind of leave you alone when you do your check ride, if you don't want them to give you a hard time. Well, on my practice tests, I was getting 75 to 80%. And there's 6,000 possible questions, and they give you 60 of them, and you have 2 hours to answer these 60 questions. And if you get 70%, you pass, but they harass you during your check ride. If you get 90%, they kind of leave you alone. So I was really struggling with it. I was taking my practice tests and not getting what I need. So I needed to focus. I met with the owner of the school, and he told me he said, Jordan, what I want you to do is 3 things. For the next 30 days, I want you to do 3 things. I want you to study for 30 minutes a day. I want you to take 1 practice test every day. And I want you to go over the test prep book every day. Spend an hour a day. Spend 1 hour a day for the next 30 days, and then go take your test. And I did that. Now, I've been working on it for 1.5 years and making no progress. But then I focused for 30 days on those 3 things. And last week, I went in and I took my test, my official FAA test, and I got 95%. That was after struggling after 1.5 years. Now I've got to go. I've got 70 hours, but I've got the same situation. I've got 70 hours in on the helicopter, but there's requirements that I still need to meet. There's things that I need to do, so I need to focus on those things. And you know what I found out? It's the exact same things to learn to fly a helicopter, even though when I went into the school the first time, my first thought, when I sat in the helicopter and took the flight, my very first thought was, this is impossible for me. There's no way I'm ever... Volumes and volumes of information you have to learn. Very challenging. The most difficult thing that I've had to ever do in my life, but it was something I wanted to do, but I decided to write it down, schedule it, trust the process, and see the job through. So I'm still on the journey, and I'm committed to seeing it through. And there have been many, many times along the way where I did not want to go down to the school because we were going to be doing something like auto rotations, where you have to shut the helicopter off and learn how to bring the helicopter down without a motor. Those kinds of things. Things that would freak me out, but I had to go. I have to go back because I need to trust the process and see the job through. And every time I go back, it gets a little bit easier. But it's no different in your business. If you want to make it in this business, you got to write down what you want. You got to schedule it. Keep it on your calendar. Fill your calendar with appointments. Regardless of how freaked out you are, fill your calendar, trust the process, and then see the job through. You got to do all the steps. It's like a phone number. Don't leave anything out, and you can have whatever level of success you look for in this business. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let me ask you a question there, Jordan, because I mean, one of the things that people always will say is, well, I tried that, or you know, I just don't like doing that. I mean, I want to succeed, but I just don't like doing that. And it sounds to me like what I was hearing you say there about the helicopter is, you know, you had this big dream of wanting to fly one, but there was a lot of things along the way that were not necessarily fun, right? And so, you know, speak to that a little bit, relating that to some of the things we have to do in network marketing to succeed, and staying, you know, staying focused on that dream. How important is that when you're doing the tedious stuff?
The question comes down to how important are your dreams? Like the things that you want, the reason you signed up in your business, what is it that you want in your life, and what are you not willing to settle for anymore? You know, it's like all those things that bug you about your life right now, that the things that you despise. What are the things?
What happened?
His audio went off.
Are you hearing it?
No.
It's delayed.
Can you hear me, Carlos? Hello?
Okay, now I can. You came back.
Yeah, something, I don't know what happened. The thing muted itself. That was pretty crazy. Anyway, I don't know how much of what you heard, but you know, what are those things that you want in your life that you don't have right now? The reasons that you got involved, the reasons that you actually got involved in network marketing. So you have to make your dreams more compelling and more appealing than any challenges that you're going to have along the way. You have to always remind yourself of why you're doing the business, as cliche as that sounds. Like there are times that I have to go back to thinking about, why is it that I want to learn to fly a helicopter? If I don't, then the tasks of actually getting through it become extremely overwhelming. But then when you go back, when you keep going back, and each time you make a little progress, it's extremely fulfilling. So you always want to remember, think about your family, think about the lifestyle that you want to live, those things that pain you in your life right now that you want to eliminate or get rid of. You know, think about those things. You know, what's more important? Really, what's the most important thing to you in your life? What are your core values, the things that drive you, the things that give you passion for life? Focus on those things and not the challenges that you're going to experience along the way. You'll have the challenges. It's part of it. It's part of the process. But in doing that, the feeling of fulfillment and gratitude and achievement that comes from actually working through those things rather than quitting every time something happens. I did it for 10 years. Most people, they don't have the stamina, and it takes some stamina. And it really, you need to be able to really focus on what you want, what's important to you. And that's my answer to your question, Carlos.
Awesome, awesome. And so, how big a role does repetition? You talked about that guy told you the 3 things that you needed to do, and you needed to do them every day. And so often people say, I tried it once, I did it once. How important is that repetition to mastery in order to get those dreams that we're looking for?
Well, in accomplishing anything worthwhile, great question. In accomplishing anything worthwhile, you know, you can't try it and expect it to, like, I can't go try and fly a helicopter. It's just not going to happen. I can't go try and make $100,000 a month in network marketing. You have to be committed to the process. And sometimes that process takes years. You look at anything that's been created that is worthwhile, that makes a huge difference in the world, in most cases it's taking years to create that. So you have to give it time. Anything worthwhile. Great question. In accomplishing anything worthwhile, that's not me talking. That's a recording. It's not. You can't try it and expect it to. Like, I can't go try and fly a helicopter. It's just not going to happen. I can't go try and make $100,000 a month in network marketing. You have to be committed to the process. And sometimes that process takes years. This is a lot easier. Anything that's been created that is worthwhile, that makes a huge difference in the world, in most cases it's taking years to create that. So you have to give it time. Anything worthwhile. Great question. In accomplishing anything worthwhile, that's a recording. It's not. You can't try it and expect it to
Like I
Well,
can't.
we were talking about repetition, right? Carlos, repetition.
I can't go try and make $100,000 a month at work.
Somebody has what?
Yoo-hoo!
Repetition is the mother of skill.
There we go. There we go.
And sometimes that process takes years.
This is a lot easier. I'll just let the
Create anything that's been created
Maybe you need to hit mute.
right.
that is worthwhile, that makes a huge difference in the world. In most cases, it's taking years to create. So you have to give it time to make it worthwhile.
Jordan, I think they're just making sure that they got the point.
Well, if they didn't get it, I sure did.
Okay, yeah, it seemed like somebody might have had their viewer, you know, we're on the speaking side, and if, you know, there's also a viewing side, so somebody might have gone to view it in the viewing side of it, and that's what created that.
Okay.
So, but it's all good. We're learning. Now you guys see that you can have a bunch of 7-figure income earners, you know, and we can screw up a Google Hangout, you know. But we're going to stay here till we give you the information. So what did you want to add to that?
You know what? I think we're good, Carlos. You know, there's really, you know how it is. There's always something you can share, but there's so much here. You know, so much of it is just really trusting the process and then seeing the job through. And this really truly is a business of what's the word? I lost the word. Go ahead. I'm gonna throw the ball in your court and let you take it from here.
Okay. All right. Well, awesome, Jordan. Thank you so much. And I've got some really good notes myself on this. So very, very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff. And so let's move on then. Let's go to our next presenter, our next speaker. And you know, this is a woman who is a legend in this industry. She comes from the same first company as I did, the Big A, and she was actually the first single woman diamond in Amway in the United States back in the day. I mean, I'm not going to say what day, because, you know, I'm not going to tell you, you know, I'm not going to give that away unless she wants to, but I mean, she has built organizations of hundreds of thousands of people. She's got a best-selling book, Owning Yourself. She is just one of the most giving, caring people. She just loves her organizations, has helped so many people succeed, and has been a role model to so many people in this industry and so many women in this industry. And I'm talking about none other than the one and only Paula Pritchard. So, Paula, take it away.
Thank you, Carlos. You know, if you've ever watched a movie where the mouth was not synced with the words and there's no subtitles, it's like crazy. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna put some earphones in, but it didn't really make any difference because I couldn't use that. So I realized that when Jordan was speaking, it was a little bit. The difference was he was closer to the screen. You could almost kiss him. So then I thought, okay, I'm going to move a little closer and see, hopefully make the lips sync. If not, just turn away. We'll try to give you some really good information, even if you're just listening, you know, through audio. But Jordan, I love your place there. It's beautiful, and I have enjoyed immensely working with this group at the Association of Network Marketing Professionals. I wasn't in network marketing for 10 years, and you know, of sponsoring no one. So my story is not as dramatic, but I was with probably one of the hardest companies I've ever been with in my life to build a business. And I do have to tell you that for the first 15 months, I was so frustrated because I just, no matter what, I learned everything. I had all the technique, I had all the knowledge, I attended all the trainings, but it just wasn't working for me. And I came to a point of almost quitting, and it was a turning point at of almost deciding whether to quit or not that really made all the difference for me. So what I want to say to you is that the events are what kept me in the game, and this convention at the end of this month was so impressive last year when I was there, and I just can't tell you enough how important it would be to be there, because it's being around those people helped build my confidence in the business, the industry of network marketing. And that was really critical, because at the end of the day, it didn't matter how much technique I had. The real key for me was the courage to go and do it. And I want to talk about three things. And the first one is that courage factor. That's what I want to bring up first, because it had to get to a point where I believed so strongly that this industry worked. And I believed so strongly that you could be successful in my company. And I believed so strongly that I could do it as an individual. And when I would see other people on the stage or other people succeeding, I had to believe so strongly that I too could do that. And it was attending these kind of events that helped build that courage factor. It was listening to the tapes, listening to the audios and videos, and those things helped keep me in this business, and it helped me gain that courage to do it. The only thing I had to tackle in this courage factor, which is the first thing I want to talk about, is I had to overcome procrastination. And many of you listening tonight can relate to that, because you have all these grand plans. You're going to start first thing in the morning, and you're going to make so many calls, and you're going to talk to so many people, you're going to make so many contacts. And then just as you're ready to pick up the phone, that fear factor comes in, and that's where you need the courage factor to overcome it. But that's when you think, oh, I need to wash the dishes first, or I should probably put the wash in first, or maybe I just need to to clean this or do that. I mean, and the next thing you know, your day has disappeared. And there is a great book out there called Daring Greatly by Dr. Brené Brown, and she talks about the resistance factor, that it's a real thing in people's heads to have this resistance. And every time you have a great idea, every time you want to start a new venture, every time you want to start a diet or an exercise program, there's this resistance. And the more important it is to you, the stronger the resistance is. And so I want you to understand it's a real thing. We all experience it, and that once you're aware of it, that's when you have to say, oh, there you are, resistance, and now I need to pick up the phone before I do anything else, or I need to get out of the door and meet people before I do anything else. And once you get in the habit of doing that, it's just like I've talked about many times, the fear factor of picking up that 10-ton telephone, and then the more you pick it up, the less it weighs. It is the same thing, and I don't care how long you've been in the business. If you're not picking up the phone on a consistent basis, it gets heavy again. So that's the first thing I want you to understand. And if you're experiencing that fear factor and you need to put the courage into it, whether it's getting to the events, listening to the tapes, reading the books, whatever it takes to make you start to believe that you too deserve this success. The second thing I want to talk about is kind of a phrase I coined a while back called getting attached to the process, not the results. And the process has to do with going through the process of making the calls or making the contacts, going through the invitation, doing the presentation, and it's a cycle. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. And you need to become attached to that, not the results. The results are if somebody says yes or somebody says no. If somebody comes in and says they're going to build this thing to the moon and then they quit, I mean, I'm sure that's not happened to anybody on this speaking group. But I mean, they all sound the same to me because I'm not attached to a yes or no. Because I want you to understand a yes or a no are equal. many of you think, well, when someone says yes to me, I'm so excited. I've been successful. No, you know, success is when they do something and when you help them become successful. There's no success in yes or no's. They're all equal. And so you can't get attached to a yes, and so you can't get too excited, and you can't get too depressed at a no. And if you learn to handle that, and that's a toughie, I mean, there is nothing that can stop you from building this business. You know, if you don't get attached to the results. And then finally, one thing that I learned a while back that I think can really make a difference is you need to understand that the way you approach people is their first training. Now think about that. If you're too pushy, if you give them too much information, like you just overload them, if you get too technical, they're going to say, oh my gosh, I don't want to be like that. Or I could never learn all that. I could never do all that. You know, it's easy, especially when you're in the nutrition business, to, you know, they say, well, how does this cure gout, or does this, you know, cure whatever, you know, and you get into all this technical information. You might win the battle, but you'll lose the war. You might end up selling the product, but they will never want to be a distributor because they'll think, I can never know as much as they know. I'll never know as much as Paula. So it's almost better to say, I don't know a whole lot about that, all I know is. And the same thing with if you're pushy. If you're pushy, people think, oh, they're so pushy. You know, my friends would be really turned off if I did that. Or, you know, if you talk too much and you wear them out, I mean, they can interpret that the same way. You know, one of my examples, and it's really probably not a fair example because I know some people are very successful at this, but I mean, if you go to a trade show, I mean, I happen to be not passionate about helicopters because beyond the third floor, I'm not really very good. But I mean, but I am passionate about motor coaches. I love motor coaches. I can tell you all the brands, and I own a motor coach, and I love every minute in it. But I have to tell you, when I go to a motor coach show, and some of them are massive, and I go there, it's like I'm walking down the aisle and past these tables, and it's like you know, you don't want to make I don't know if any of you felt like this, but it's like I don't want to make eye contact because they go, hey, come on over here, let me show you what we've got, or, you know, get a free whatever. And it's like, so I'm trying not to make eye contact unless it's something I'm interested in, because I feel like I'm in the gauntlet. I'm being, you know, as I'm running the gauntlet here. And so I just wanted to say that, you know, but if it's an attractive booth, and if it's something I'm looking for, if it's the people, you know, there's something that makes me want to come over and talk to them, and I approach them. Otherwise, if they're grabbing me, I think, oh my gosh, I never want to do this because I'd have to grab people, and what would my friends think, or would I be as annoying? I would be annoying to people like maybe that person is to me. So think about this. The way you approach them about the business is their first training. So those are 3 points. The courage factor, get attached to the process, not the results, and remember the way you approach or invite people to see the business is their first training. So I hope that helps, but we got so much more to share with you come the end of March at that event, because I think you're going to learn a lot. Okay, back to you, Carlos.
That was awesome, Paula. That was awesome. And you know what? I'd like you to touch one point. Coming from the same background as you do, that company was a hard build, right, for a lot of people. But the key to it was the events, because those events built the dream, built the belief, built, you know, and since we do have an event coming up, just share with them a little bit, because I know for me, myself, I mean, you know, 3 years of not a whole lot of success, and then one day I went to an event, you know, I mean, and so it just is such an important factor, and, you know, being that our background, just kind of explain to them, how does that build your faith and courage and all that stuff?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say one thing. You know, if you can be an expert at anything in this business, obviously be an expert at recruiting, but you need to also be equally an expert at promoting. And the reason that we promote these events is because we know when we get a person to an event, no matter what we've said and how many times we've said it, someone from the stage is going to say the exact same thing, and they're going to hear it for the first time. And they're going to come back and say, guess what I just heard, and it's been something you've been pounding in them for forever. But you know, sometimes you never know what's going to flip a switch for somebody, turn on the light bulb, and until the light bulb's turned on, they're not going to do anything. So it might be somebody from the same profession. It might be somebody that has had the same experience, or somebody says something, or there's an income that's presented that they never thought they could earn, and they think, you can make that kind of income, or they hear a story that they relate to. You never know what's going to touch your people. And if you get them around people like that, something's going to touch them. And one more thing, Carlos, I want to say is this. You know, in the beginning, when I got involved in network marketing, I was motivated financially. I wanted to own a house. I wanted this or that. But once I got going into it, I wanted to be around those people who inspired me. I wanted to be successful in order to gain their respect, because they were the people that I admired, and they were the people I wanted to spend my life with. They were the people who I wanted to respect me in return. And I knew that they would respect me if I went through the fear factor and pushed through, and because they would know when they welcomed me to their ranks, they would know the price I paid to be there. They would know the courage I had to, come up with, the fear I had to push through, and they would respect that in me. And therefore, I was wanting to earn their respect, and I wanted to hang out with them because I felt I could grow as a person by hanging out with them. And so I want to encourage everyone, basically, Carlos, to come and be around the people that can change your life, and be around the people that can help you, and you'll find those people at that event for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely, and thank you so much, Paula. And am I muted? No. Okay. So, and Paula will be one of those people that will be at that event, and she will be speaking at that event. And let me tell you, you want to get to know her better. You want to get the pearls of wisdom that come out of her mouth, because she's generated tremendous success and helped many, many, many thousands of people become successful in this industry. So you definitely want to get to that event, the end of this month, the ANMP convention, the 27th through the 30th. We'll give you a little more information on that in a little bit. But right now, I'd like to bring up the guy who is the president of that association. He has over 25 years in this industry, has built multiple companies with hundreds of thousands of distributors as well. He is currently the master distributor and #1 income earner in the present company that he's with. And he is just, I mean, I admire this guy so much. He is so dedicated to our profession, and he is such an ambassador for our profession. He puts his own money and time into this Association of Network Marketing Professionals. I mean, in the past 2 years that he has served as president, he has literally turned this organization, this association around, and we all are very, very, very proud to be a part of this association and to be associated with him, because he raises this industry to a higher level of excellence and a higher level of ethics. So please welcome my very good friend, Garrett McGrath.
Carlos, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Well, first of all, I'm very excited to be here. I just want to tell everyone that's listening in and watching here tonight, Carlos, I want to say thank you for organizing this unique Google Hangout, because I think back to when I got started 25 years ago, and I can tell everyone that's on this webinar that I was not an immediate success. So I was not one of those people who was a zero to hero success. In fact, many people joke, as I tell them all the time, I was going broke enthusiastically. In fact, I was seeing other people being successful, and I was wondering, how could I be successful? What is it that I perhaps could learn that would help me to become successful? And I had to learn some things. You heard Paula Pritchard share, you want to become good at inviting people to events. Well, I wasn't good at that. She said, you want to become a good promoter. Well, I also wasn't good at that. And you want to become good at things that make you effective, but also things that other people can teach to their team as well so it can duplicate. So I'm going to give you 3 things that I can tell you absolutely unlocked my career. It was the first big difference maker, and I can still remember there are 3 points. It's something that it'll be a takeaway for many of you. I believe it will be a difference maker. In fact, some of this I probably learned from Paula Pritchard, because she was the top income earner in the company that I got started with. So I actually learned from Paula Pritchard and Kathy Robbins. And I will tell you what she said is true. Major decisions are made at major events. And when I went to those conferences where I saw Paula Pritchard and Kathy Robbins speak, there was no way that I could get access to them. I just saw them from stage. Well, the Association of Network Marketing Professionals event at the end of March, you're going to be able to hang out with and meet a Carlos Marin. You're going to meet a Donna Johnson. You're going to meet a Matt Morris. You're going to meet a Jordan Adler. You're going to meet a Paula Pritchard. You're going to have an opportunity to eat with them because the meals are part of the ticket price, because we've organized it that way. We all say this all the time. When you forget where you've come from, you're on your way back. And the network marketing profession is about giving back. So I want to share with you 3 points, but there is so much that you're going to learn from the speakers that are here at this convention. So the first one that everyone needs to learn, write this down, is commit. So there's 3 points to this. It's going to be very simple. Number 1 is commitment or commit. Number 2 is unique or special. And number 3 that you want to write down is edify the speaker. So let me just, and join the dots. Let me explain to you what that is. So let's say, for example, I was working together with Carlos Marin, and Carlos said, Garrett, we do a webinar on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Or Garrett, we have an event on Thursday night in this local hotel. Or Garrett, I'm going to help you build your business. I'm going to do an event in your home. Or Jordan said, I'm going to put a conference call on for you. Those are events. Well, these events are only as good as my ability to invite people to attend that event and my ability to have that duplicate my organization. So the first thing we need to learn to do is commit. So what I teach everyone to do, and what was taught to me, was commit to going to the event first of all yourself. In other words, commitment is doing the thing you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left you. So somebody would help me take out my calendar, and they would show me the different events that are on, and they would help me make a commitment that I was actually going to attend those events. I do that with everybody that I build a business together with today. Everyone in our team does the same thing. That's how we've built so many big organizations of over 100,000 people in over 20 countries. So we learned how to do this, and everybody can do this. It's a pretty simple process. So number 1 is commit, and learn how to get other people to commit to that process as well. And remember this, people don't want to join an experiment. They want to follow a committed person. They want to follow a certain trumpeter. So that's number 1, is commit. Now number 2, here's a big one. And I had to learn to take the word every and always out of my vocabulary. I used to do this all the time and wonder why when I invited somebody to an event, they weren't showing up, because I'd go like this, oh, we have this event on every Tuesday and every Thursday night, and I want you to attend. And what's amazing is people will procrastinate and put something off if you don't make it sound unique, if you don't make it sound special, if you make it sound like, well, if they don't come this Tuesday, they can come any Tuesday. So you want to learn to take the word every and always out of your vocabulary. You want to learn how to make this event special and unique. So that's number 2. And here's number 3. And this is one that I also had to learn. It didn't come naturally to me, which was how to edify the speaker and join the dots. So let me give you some examples. And I'm going to give you examples using each person that's on the panel here tonight. So I just saw Jordan Adler just joined us here. So let me give an example how I would invite. So let's assume that Jordan Adler was doing a conference call, and I wanted to, get somebody to be on that conference call. The first thing that I would do for myself or for my team, I'd say, guys, let's commit to being on that conference call. So the first thing we all do is commit to putting it in our calendar that we're going to be on that conference call and we're going to have some guests. The second thing I would do, so now let's say I'm speaking with somebody and I want to invite you. I want to invite you to be on there, and you and I have had a little bit of conversation, and I know a little bit about you. I've gone through the discovery process, which is I've asked you a few questions so I begin to understand what's your dream. You heard Jordan Adler talk about the dream. Well, the dream's what moves people. People move for 2 reasons. Number 1 reason is to seek pleasure. So that's how I connect with that. Number 2 reason is to avoid pain. In other words, missing out on a unique or special event that's only going to happen once, or the way that you position it so that they feel like that they want to be there. So let's say, for example, I was inviting you and said, you told me that you would love to make a little bit of extra money so you could spend some more time with your children, and perhaps your wife could have an opportunity to be away for, not have to go to work every day. Well, there is a unique and special conference call that is actually on, this Thursday night. I believe that you're going to learn how to achieve that goal of making some extra money where your wife can stay at home. But here's the deal. This is how I connected in. And you're going to learn from Jordan. He's one of the best people that could possibly teach you. You know why? Because here is somebody who was not successful before. He learned a few simple skills and joined this company. They've created a system where people who have never had success before can now be successful in the business, and he's literally helped hundreds of thousands of people to join his business, and he's done it in multiple different countries. This will be a unique and special event that's really going to get your questions answered and help you achieve that dream that I know is so important to you. So do you see how I put that together? So first of all, I commit to being there. Secondly, I make it a special, unique event. I don't say Jordan does this conference call every Tuesday and every Thursday. And I connect it to the dream that this person has. So if you go through and look at it again, number 1, what am I doing? I'm committing to being there, and I'm committing my team members to being there. Number 2, I'm sharing the event as being unique and special. And then number 3 is I'm edifying the speakers, and I'm joining the dots. Let me give you another example. Let's say it was Paula Pritchard is going to do an event in your local town, and I am talking with somebody. I would invite them and do it exactly the same way. I would commit to coming to the event. I would tell them, wow, you are so lucky. There is a great event that's on this Thursday night. It is a special event. It's completely unique. I'm very excited about it for you because, you told me that you want to describe what they want, and Paula is the perfect person to share this information with you, answer your questions, and show you how you're going to achieve your dreams. You know why? Because Paula was a school teacher. And she realized that she was never going to achieve the dreams that she had with just a job, that she needed to have a plan B. And she learned how to take that plan B and make it a plan A. She's been very successful, and she's helped a lot of other people be successful. I'd love to invite you to be there. So do you see what I'm saying? It's a very simple process that you teach everyone. Let me give you another example. Let's say, for example, Matt Morris. So let's say, for example, that Matt Morris was doing a training on Saturday morning. I would go to the same process. Number one, I commit that I'm going to be there. If there was a training on every Saturday, I'll commit to every Saturday that I can put into my calendar so that I learn to get better at this. Remember what Paula said, or you heard Carlos Marin said, is repetition's the mother of learning. We will get better through that process. So I want to learn how to do that. And I invite. And again, I go through the same process. I commit. I tell them it's special and unique. I identify the speaker. I say, Matt's an incredible human being. This is somebody who himself was broke. In fact, broke would have been a good place to be for him. You know, he was literally homeless. You know, they call him the unemployed millionaire. The reason is he's taken people whose situation, like his, who was very desperate. They not only didn't have success, they were kind of the opposite of that, and he's shown them how to turn their lives around. He's not only done it for himself, but he's literally done it for thousands of other people. He's a best-selling author. He's the perfect person to teach you how to do that. So you begin to see how we do this process. You know, Donna Johnson, if I were invited to Donna Johnson, I'd say, take the same process, commit to going to the event, help them personally understand it's a special, unique event. They are so lucky that it's on because it'll answer their questions, but more importantly, it'll give them what they need in order for them to see how they can achieve the goals and dreams that they told me that were important to them. And you're blessed because Donna Johnson's, you know, a very strong, if faith was important, a very strong Christian woman. She follows her belief. She was a single mother who has figured out a way to be successful, to really fix that equation for most moms. It's hard to fix. When there's lots of mom, there is no money. When there's lots of money, there is no mom. But through network marketing and leverage, she's been able to create a tremendous income. She is a champion for freeing families, and she's the perfect person to share this information and show you how to do it. So you begin to see how this process works. And Carlos, I know this is something that you are very, very strong on because you understand major decisions are made at major events, and that's why you want to get good at this. And this is only just a snowflake on the tip of the iceberg. At the Association of Network Marketing Professionals, we've got 30-plus speakers in one weekend, plus your food. It's going to be a sellout, fantastic event. So I know you know how important events are, Carlos.
Absolutely, Garrett. I sure do. I've just muted myself out because if not, every time I twist and turn in the chair. But that's absolutely an incredible formula. I mean, and that really is the formula for promoting. You know, we've said for many, many years the biggest income earners are the best promoters. The biggest pins, the biggest leaders are the best promoters. And obviously, you are a tremendous promoter. But since you opened up that door for the Association Network Marketing event, why don't you just, you know, take a minute and tell them how much and when and so forth. I mean, we'll give them information at the end of the call, but you know, every speaker has mentioned up to now the importance of events. Why don't you, you know, go ahead and take a minute and just tell them where, when, and how much, because I think a lot of people may not know that this is the absolute most unbelievable best bargain in network marketing, but it's not because it's, you know, not chock full of value. There is no event in the industry that has this much value. So just take a minute and speak to that, would you?
I will. And Carlos, because the Association of Network Marketing Professionals is a not-for-profit, we're a not-for-profit organization, what does that mean? That means that every speaker will speak at this convention and they will not charge. So here's what I want to explain. Donna Johnson, Carlos Marin, Matt Morris, the 30 people that you've got coming to this, plus speakers that are coming to this event, I want you to understand a few things that's incredible. Number one, none of them are being paid. None of their expenses are being paid. They're flying in on their own dime. And they're paying for their own hotel rooms. In fact, they all purchase their own convention tickets. because we don't have any favorites. I mean, there are people who have flown across the world to speak at this convention. They're buying their own convention ticket because we've got food associated with that convention ticket. You can get a ticket for $99 and your meal's included. So it starts on Thursday night from 7 to 10. We open up with 3 great speakers. Then if you've got a ticket, we have a VIP ticket, which is a VIP party that's going to go from about 10 o'clock till midnight. So you can actually meet all the different speakers. That will be a super cool environment indeed. Then Friday, we're going to start off Friday morning. We'll go from 9 a.m. in the morning till 10 p.m. at night. And for your $99 ticket, it includes lunch on Friday and also dinner on Friday night. Why do we do that? Well, we've got companies that sponsor that. We've got the speakers doing it all for free. So we were able to make that happen. The hotels work with us because we want you to be able to rub shoulders and sit down with the Carlos Martin, sit down with all these different speakers. Then on Saturday, we start off again on Saturday morning, or bright and early at 9 o'clock. Your lunch is included. And then on Saturday evening, we have a gala dinner. Now, if you have a VIP ticket, you get to go to the gala dinner also on Saturday night, which is super cool. We get to hear some other speakers. We have some fun entertainment. We get to recognize and celebrate in a way like you've never seen before in network marketing. You're so used to celebrating successes in your own company. Now imagine celebrating successes across our profession. And then on Sunday morning for the VIPs, we also have a special 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock noon. We've got a session. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to have corporate teams talk about how to make a message compliant and compelling, and also how couples can work together and give you ideas as to how they can do that as well. And that is all of that's included. The VIP tickets, you get to sit on the front. You got special VIP seating and tables. That VIP ticket is $199. I believe we've got a few of those left, so you want to go to ANMPconvention.com to go and get those tickets. And I know we've definitely got the $99 tickets available as well. And the hotel as well, incredibly, 4-star, 5-star hotel for $99. I mean, we have got incredible value. But I just want to finish with this. The reason is because, Carlos, we as speakers, we remember, you know, if you forget where you've come from, you're on your way back. It's like, Carlos, you like to say to yourself, what if I could go back and meet myself 25 or 30 years ago? What would I love to be able to do to give myself that help up in my career? Well, that's what we're all doing. Every one of us are committed to doing that for you. We're going to create an environment where you can have the most success that you ever thought you could possibly have, the best value, because we want to raise our profession up through helping you make more money to achieve your dreams and your companies to have more success. That's how we're going to raise up our profession. And we know you've got it with your company. We're just able to put something together here that you cannot get anywhere else. Paula Pritchard said last year she took so many notes, and she was promoting it to her whole team this year because she knows that can be a major component to their success. So, Carlos, I hope I hit everything there for you, my friend. And I'm excited, so thank you. And, Carlos, you're the chairman. You know more about this event than I do.
Thank you. Thank you, Garrett. No, you got it. You covered it, and I'll give them a little more here at the end, but that's, you know, hearing it from you, there's nobody that's more married to this association than you are and more passionate about it than you are, and that was just a fantastic explanation for people to understand, because I think so oftentimes they say $99. I mean, seriously, you know, what is this in a Roach Coach motel, and you know, and who's speaking, and they don't understand it's the best of the best, the top of the top, you know, and the hotel's the Intercontinental. So anyways, let's move on to our next speaker. And, you know, this young man is just done unbelievable things in this industry. He is the #1 income earner in his company. He has had a #1 bestseller, The Unemployed Millionaire. He is a part of the largest travel company in the world. He just has a huge organization, over 200,000 people. Has helped numerous people make 6- and 7-figure incomes. He's a 7-figure income earner. I mean, the accolades, we could just pile them on and go on and on and on and on, but I'd rather you listen to him talk because he has incredible information. He even was the founder and CEO of what at the time was the largest personal development network marketing company in the world. So he doesn't look old enough to have done all this, but he's a serial entrepreneur of 19 years. So welcome my good friend, Matt Morris. Matt, take it away.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you, Carlos. You know, it's awesome being on the Hangout with you guys. I actually got started in the same network marketing company that you and Paula did, and I'll tell you, I was 18 years old, so I've been at it for 19 years now. But after my first 2 years, I had sponsored 3 people. 2 of which I paid for to get in, and it actually gets worse because one of those that I paid for to get in, I never even told her she was in. I enrolled my mom and never even had the courage to tell her I enrolled her, and so it's been a heck of a journey. And you know, thank goodness I had a great sponsor back then because she really I don't want to say forced me, but she had me go to this event. She said, we've got our event in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I said, I can't go. I'm working. And she said, no, you have to go. And I just, for whatever reason, I said, all right, I'll just trust in her. I'll just believe in her. And I went to that event. And thank goodness I did, because if I hadn't gone to that event and hadn't seen the stories of people like Carlos and Paula and so many others, then you know, I probably would have most certainly quit. And that would have been a really bad thing because, you know, it's the profession, the network marketing profession has led to a pretty fun life, and it's been awesome. But what happened at that event, you know, I just caught a dream. There was a speaker that talked about world schooling his children. He'd just come back from Europe and spent several months. And he was talking about teaching his kids history, not just out of the history books, but in the places in the world where the history actually happened. And I just got super turned on. I said, man, that's what I want. And you know, what happened to me, I'll tell you, my first 6 years, it took me 6 years to get full-time in network marketing. And I'm going to give you, everyone listening tonight, probably the biggest reason why it took me 6 years is because it really belief. I would go to events like that first event I went to, and I'd see speakers, and you know, I would hang on every word they said, and they were super charismatic and very polished and had all these amazing skills, none of which that I had. And so I'd leave the event, I'd be very motivated, but I didn't really have the belief that I could do it. And so you know, the biggest thing that I'll say, if I can give the biggest nugget, is a commitment to personal development. You know, your income, your success is never going to rise beyond who you are as a person. And so if you look, you know, behind me in the bookshelves here, hundreds and hundreds of books, and you know, that's the big thing that changed me. And I'll tell you, I had a defining moment. Got started with the network marketing company, and super committed. I was all in, and I had finally burned the bridge. I decided that I was going to be a professional in network marketing. I read about 60 books on. I've read about 60 books on network marketing over the years, just on network marketing specific. And you know, I start inviting, and it's my first week in this company. And I invite a handful of people there, and I got to be a pretty good inviter. I just could never close anyone. And what I'm going to talk about at the event is closing specifically. I'm going to go through kind of the art and science to closing, psychology behind it, the numbers, the kind of numbers that you'll need to go through over 19 years, how my numbers have worked out, how many people you need to recruit, and you know, based on every 10 you recruit, what's going to happen. But here's what happened. Is I could get people to events, but it was always, you know, I had someone tell me it's all about sorting versus selling, you know, and I took that to mean it's just pure sorting. So I don't have to do anything spectacular. I just have to have them see it. And I would get a lot of people to see it. I just wouldn't enroll anyone. And so this lady comes, and you know, the meeting's over, and she's like, "Oh, thank you, I'm gonna go," you know, and she leaves. And I had someone that was sitting behind her came to me and said, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you what the lady I heard her telling the person sitting next to her was she was actually excited about the concept, But she told the other person, yeah, the guy who invited me here, he doesn't know what he's doing. And, you know, that's why she left. I don't know if she called the person that she was sitting next to or what, but for me, it was a wake-up call to step up. And if there's one thing, I was doing a training with a few hundred people the other day, and someone asked me, what's the one thing that you wish you would have done sooner? And the one thing I wish I would have done sooner is stepped up as a leader. See, I would always be the follower. I would always edify the leaders. And, you know, there's a book, The Magic of Thinking Big, that I got, you know, so many years ago, and you can see it's been totally worn out. I've read it several times. But something that stuck with me was it's well to respect the leader, learn from the leader, observe the leader, study him, but don't worship him. Believe that you can surpass, believe that you can go beyond. Those who harbor second-best attitudes are second-best doers. And so I had to decide to stop standing in the shadows of the leaders that I was following and actually step up as a leader and actually portray some confidence. I started going into meetings saying things like, I'm the leader that every other leader is looking for. And there's two different maths. You know, the math that I had done in that I had experienced in network marketing was follower math. And follower math, you grow by addition. It's very painful. Leader math, you grow by multiplication. So once you step up as a leader, then you can attract other leaders. But until you step up as a leader, you can't attract other leaders. It's kind of like, you know, the rule of leadership is, you know, if you're on a scale of 1 to 10, you're a 5, you're never going to follow a 4. You know, they're walking behind you. They've got to keep up to you. You're only going to follow a 6, a 7, 8, or a 9, or 10. And so how do you step up? Well, a lot of it was just confidence. And some of what I'm going to talk about at the event we're doing here in Dallas is some very specific things that you can say to step up. And I'll tell you one was, rather than just, hey, here's the deal, do you want to join or not join, you know, a lot of times people are on the fence. They need to think about it. And if you understand the psychology of closing, people buy based on emotion way more than they buy based on logic. And, you know, they want to know a few different things. Does it work? Can I do it? Will you help me? So, you know, does your opportunity, is it working? Is there proof that other people have had success with it? Can I do it? Do they have internal belief? Will you help me? And, you know, will you help me? A better way to say it is, can you help me? They need to believe that you can help them. And if they don't believe that, and they're not attached directly to someone who can help them, then they're not likely to enroll. So a lot of times when you hear people say, well, I've got to think about it, I've got to do my research, I've got to whatever, usually the objection that they're giving you is not the real objection. It usually stems from a lack of belief in themselves, lack of belief in you as their leader. And so here's what I started doing. Is rather than just saying, oh, you know, they'd say, well, great, I got to think about it, then I would start stepping up and saying, hey, listen, I know this is brand new for you, but I just want to give you my level of commitment. If you're serious about changing your life, if you commit to me, I commit to you. You give it, you know, 50%, I'll give you 50%. You give me 100%, I'll give you 100%. So you want to make a little money, I'll help you make a little. You want to make a lot, I'll help you make a lot. If you want to go out and crush this and change your life forever, put on your running shoes, because I'll run as hard as you can. You ready to get started? And I put out my hand to shake their hand. And all of a sudden, when I started stepping up and portraying confidence, people started saying yes. And, you know, now when I give trainings like that, they say, well, Matt, it's easier for you to say. You're making, you know, made millions of dollars. Of course you can say that. Well, here's the key. The reason why I started making money was because I started saying things like that before it actually became a reality. I started telling people and portraying myself as a leader that was worthy of being followed. And so I'll go through at the event, I'll go through a lot more detail about that. And, you know, another thing that Paula talked about is having no emotional attachment to the outcome. That is a big one, because what I had done for so long is I was super needy with every prospect. See, I was coming from a place of scarcity all the time, and here's the rule, is your prospect can smell neediness like a dog smells fear. So you've got to have the attitude kind of like a waiter. You know, if you've been out to eat, have you ever told a waiter no? Obviously, you know, when the waiter says, would you like some dessert? You say, no, I'm full. Well, that's got to be your attitude with this. Your opportunity needs to be dessert. It needs to be dessert for life. And so just like the waiter doesn't get, they don't get emotionally attached. They don't beg you to have dessert. They don't go in the back and say, you know what, restaurants are a scam. These dessert things don't work. No, they just go to the next table. And so that's what we do as professionals, is we just go to the next person. See, not everyone wants dessert for life, and so we're just looking for the people who really want dessert for life. And so it's getting rid of the neediness, and there's a rule that I'd encourage you to write this down, is when you stop being afraid of people saying no, they stop saying yes. And there's so much. I know we've got such a short amount of time. I can't go through all the details. I'm excited about being on stage for 45 minutes or an hour, and being able to give you, just very specific things, closing lines, a one-step close, a two-step close, a three-step close, based on your personality, that, once I started applying these, all of a sudden it became easy to recruit. All of a sudden I was able to get the confidence of, drop me in any city in the world where my opportunity is available, and I know inside of a year I'm earning a six-figure income just because I know these strategies and I get them. So super excited to share, and Carlos, you being the chairman, that means a ton to me. Major stamp of credibility for the Association of Network Marketing Professionals, and of course Garrett as the president. I mean, the guy is just so humble, so down to earth, filled with integrity, and that's the kind of guy that I, personally, I want to be aligned with. And all the other speakers, it's just such a great environment. So I went for the first time last year, and I tell you, I got so much value out of it myself. I can't wait to be there. So I appreciate you guys letting me share.
Oh, no, our pleasure. And I mean, I was wet for the first time last year too, and I was blown away. And we've got a little bit of time here. You said something that really is such a key factor, because we see people all the time that are out there, and they're trying to get people in their business. And yeah, you got the needy factor and all that, but you got this other factor, is that they're trying to get people to get in. They're trying to get people to follow them, and the people won't follow them, and they come to me. Like I'm sure they come to you and they say, well, I can't get I can't get them to get in. I can't get them to follow me. I can't get them to do what I want them to do. I can't get them to go to the event. I can't get them to go to the meeting. I can't get them to get on the conference call. And you mentioned something that's really, really critical, really important, that I'd like for to just, hit on this again. Give us a little more perspective on this. You said people need to believe that you can help them. And that is really a key. Can you just expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of people, one, they've either never done network marketing, so it's brand new for them, so they've naturally got hesitancy. That's just their natural state is going to be like that. Or maybe they've done network marketing before and they haven't had success. And so, there's some certain, just little things that you can say that cause you to show up as a leader without you saying, I'm a leader. So, if you say I'm a leader, that's egotistical. I'm the one you've been looking for. You can't say that kind of stuff. So you present yourself as such. And so, if someone, if I'm ever showing the business to someone and they say, I've done network marketing before, my answer is, you haven't done it with me. And then I just shut up and I let that sink in. And, it's me saying, I'm going to work with you and help you, and, you work with me, you're going to be successful. It's a way for me to say that without having to say it. And so, it's the also being able to say little things like, they want to know that there's someone that they can be back to back to, arm in arm with. And so I'm going to say little things like that. I'm gonna, it's like, listen, I'll take you by the hand. I'll walk you through every step of the way. I never tell anyone I'm going to do it for them. There's no strength in saying I'm going to do the work for you. I mean, you're going to have, that's definitely growing by addition, not multiplication. But letting them know that you're there for mentorship, you're there for help. And it's just one little thing that my mentor did with me, and I've just been a great copycat. The way he got that point across to me was, he said, you'll give up on you before I'll give up on you. And you know, that's the thing. People need to know that you're going to be there to help them. You're going to be there to support them. You know, did a webinar today, and you know, when I you know, I'm talking with the gentleman who's looking at our business, and you know, the number one thing that he had was support. He wanted to make sure there was a team of people that would be there to back him up. And so I think getting that across to your prospect is an important piece.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Matt. We can't wait to. I can't wait to hear your talk at the ANMP convention, because that's going to be dynamite. So thanks so much for sharing. Thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward to hanging out with you some more at the ANMP convention.
Thanks,
so,
Carlos. Me too.
You bet. You bet. And now that brings us to a lady who is just an absolute, I mean, another legend. I mean, we're so fortunate to have this team on this call tonight. This gal was a former swimming coach. She has one of the largest network marketing organizations in the world. This is a fun fact. She has over 1,000 leaders in her group that drive these iconic white Mercedes-Benz automobiles given to them by the company when they reach a certain level, do a certain amount of volume. She has 1,000 leaders in her group driving white Mercedes-Benz. I thought that was just phenomenal. She has, you know, she has a book and a series called Making a Living by Making a Difference. She's a philanthropist. She's a mentor. She's just does all kinds of tremendous, tremendous things inside the industry, having helped thousands of people achieve financial independence, and outside the industry in her philanthropic ventures. And so help us welcome the one and only Donna Johnson.
Thanks, Carlos, and this has been so fun participating in this event. I'm taking notes. You know, school is never out for the leaders, so it's been a lot of fun. And I'm so excited to be a part of the event in Dallas at the end of the month. I heard so much about it last year. It didn't work out for me to be there, and I'm so grateful to participate. I'm very, very careful about, you know, who and yes?
Turn your camera on, because we got your picture. We're not seeing you speak.
All right. It was on before. It says turn camera off now.
Oh. We're seeing you there. Huh? Try it again.
I'm in it. Can you see me now?
No, we got your picture.
It's it looks like there might be a little internet connection problem.
Huh. Yeah. Can you? Is it working now?
Well, we see your picture.
It's a pretty picture.
Oh, darn.
We can hear you well.
Yes.
Aw. And I did my hair tonight, just for you guys.
You look fantastic.
It does. It looks great. Now.
All right, so we're all along the bottom of the screen. I can see me talking, but you guys can't see me.
No, we can just see that picture of you. You're like your avatar.
Oh, darn. Huh.
Yeah, but we can hear you great. So just talk, and maybe it'll fix itself along the way.
All right, because right now when I scroll over the camera, it says turn off camera.
Huh.
Oh. Okay, well, I will keep mine brief then.
No. You take your time. We're hearing you. We'll see your picture.
Okay. So I'm real excited about the event, just for so many reasons. The lineup, the faculty, the content, the price. You know, people have had to rub their eyes about the price of this to know that there are companies sponsoring the meals. So, boy, talk about a wonderful opportunity for you at a very low price. So get yourself there. Remember, it's a tax write-off, and we're all working on our taxes right now. So I'm thrilled, and you know, I've been in this business over 30 years, have over 2,000 people on my team driving that white car globally, and it's amazing because so many of the things that I've learned over the years have not changed too much, even though we're keeping up with technology. A lot of those philosophical principles that worked early on work today. And I've had the privilege of not just really building relationships with the leaders in my company, but also in the profession and in other countries. In fact, my fiance is I guess we're one of those interesting couples that met each other. We're both in network marketing. He's in Sweden, has a wonderful business there. We met in Dubai through the profession. So what I have found is people have a lot of the same issues and struggles. And it doesn't matter what age you are, if you're a woman or a man, or if you're in Sweden or the US, people have so many similar challenges. So I'm going to be building off of one of my favorite all-time books, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, because he didn't write the book Grow Rich and Think. And so every single area of our business relates to that. Matt said it so well. You know, you have to step into that leadership role and be that person that you want to be. So I'm going to share kind of a fun story, and this is a little tip on what you're going to hear from me in Dallas. I'm not going to get into it right now, but we always have a busy month close or week close, right? Well, the first couple days of the month is always very busy too, because we do a fun exercise where we meet with our key leaders and we assess the previous month. And because it doesn't make any sense to focus and goal set the current month if you don't take a snapshot back to look at what happened the last month. And if you didn't hit your commit or stretch goals, you know, where was the breakdown in your pipeline? Was it a desire, belief, or a skill? So we take a little time adjusting those things, and then we jump in to their commit and stretch goals for the month. So I was starting a call with one of my leaders, and I was kind of huffing and puffing when we started, and I said, I'm sorry, I just got in from my run. And she said, oh, Donna, that's so wonderful that you love to run. And I said, what? I mean, my fiance, Thomas, wears a t-shirt that says, running sucks. I said, I don't like to run. She said, you don't? You run all the time. I just figured you'd like to run. And I said, no. So it's so interesting that how you do anything is how you do everything. And we all struggle with making those choices in our life every day, whether it's to pick up the phone and make our calls. And so we just have to realize that we're all so similar, and there's not this magic person that doesn't have obstacles. You know, Jordan, you know, everybody, Paula, everyone on this line, we've all had obstacles. We've just chosen to overcome them. I'm getting married. Thomas and I are getting married in a month, and so I made a decision to start swimming more. That's my background, is swimming, and of course, I kind of got away from it just because it messes with my hair. It turns it green. And so I decided for the month of March, 2 days a week, I'm going to start swimming. So I decided I was going to start March 1st. So Saturday morning after my team call, I'm in Arizona. We've had beautiful sunshine, and I wake up and it's cold and rainy. The pool where I swim at the Y is outside. So I had a decision to make. I could have just taken myself off the hook and say, I'm not going to do it. But I went, and when I got into the locker, I realized I forgot my towel. And so I asked someone, does the Y have towels? They said no. That was another reason I didn't have. I could have just walked away and said, I'm not going to do it. I thought, well, I'll figure out a way with the paper towels in the bathroom. And I dove in the water, and I had a great workout. But I had that little itty-bitty shitty committee on one of my shoulders telling me, you know, giving me all the reasons why I could bail out of what I wanted to do. So I'm going to teach a lot of skills about daily habits, to-do lists that are so important to get the most important things done. And then just from a bigger picture, I'm going to talk about how, because I think one of probably the best gifts that I think I can share with people is my ability to really create leaders, not just followers like Matt was talking about, helping people step into their greatness. And we've done that by edifying people, getting our egos out of the way, finding the strengths in people, sharing the stage with people, and just creating that leadership. People will say to me, Donna, when I'm making what you're making, I'm going to start giving. Well, it's not grow rich and give. It's give and grow rich. It's not grow, it's not, your culture. It's not, I'm going to grow rich and then figure out my culture. You have to figure out your culture, who you stand for, what your culture is, because that is what duplicates. And so those are some of the things I'm going to be getting into. I'm real excited about it. It's really what my friend Keith Kochner calls accelerated wisdom. When you put all of our years together and our experiences, we can help you shorten the gap of your learning. You're not going to experience success overnight. I mean, you're going to have to learn your lessons as well. But I think you're going to get a lot of accelerated wisdom, and let our hindsight be your foresight. So I'm excited to be there with everybody.
And by the way, you came back.
I did.
You did. We saw how well you did your hair, so. So that was a great, that's one of my favorite books, and I like the way that you put that. The book's name is not Grow Rich and Think, and I'd never heard it put that way before, but that's great. Could you just expound a little on that, Donna? What does that mean to you? Be explicit with people in the meaning of that, and what that book is actually trying to get across to everybody who reads it.
I think it's exactly what Matt said. He made a real shift in his business when he realized that he needed to make the changes in here. And that's what was going to create his success. So it's you discipline yourself now, and that's what creates your success. You make good choices in your life, and that's what creates success. You give and help and serve, and that's what creates success. And oftentimes people put the cart before the horse and think that when I get there, I drive to whatever it is that they're aspiring towards, maybe it's a position or an income level, they think that's when their culture is going to kick in, or they'll start doing things different or be different. Jordan always says, be, do, have. And so that's so profound when I thought about Think and Grow Rich. And it really came about one time when someone said to me, because I support 5 orphanages around the world with 100% of the funding, and someone said to me, gosh, Donna, when I'm at your income level, I'm going to do that. And I started thinking back, and when I was that single mom of 3 small kids with no child support, living on a swim coach income, which you don't do it for the money, you do it for the love of the kids and the sport. And I remembered even back then when I was a struggling mom, I was giving. Now, I wasn't giving as much as I am today, because the more you earn, the more you can give. But it just made me realize, gosh, that's not how Napoleon Hill wrote the book. He didn't write it, Give and Grow Rich. So he didn't write it, he didn't write it Grow Rich and Give, or Grow Rich and Think. He wrote Think and Grow Rich, Give and Grow Rich, Lead and Grow Rich, Create Culture. All those things wrapped together is what makes you rich.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thanks so much for sharing, Donna. Can't wait to listen to your talk at the event. And thanks, everybody, for the great job everybody did. And, I just like to fill in a couple of things with my own perspective and my own story in network marketing. Because a lot of times people hear about, the size of organizations that I've built and the billions of dollars in volume and all this kind of stuff. And, they lose sight of the fact that when I got involved in the industry 30 years ago, I was a 25-year-old broke kid working 70 hours a week. I was depressed. I was frustrated. I had the proverbial more month than money, right? The money ran out. The month kept on going. And I had no answers. I wanted terribly badly to be rich, and I had no answers. I wanted to be a millionaire, and I didn't know how. And I didn't have a lineup of millionaires waiting outside my door. So when the business opportunity was presented to me the first time, it wasn't that I was turned on or enamored by the company and the products that the company was selling, right? I mean, I had no desire to be called Mr. Bubbles or Soapy or any of that kind of stuff. But what I saw and what convinced me to get involved in the business was I met some people that were multimillionaires. And these guys said, man, you're a sharp kid. I mean, I never forget, they're from North Carolina. Hoss, you're a sharp kid. You could get rich just like us, I mean, like I said, I didn't have a lineup of millionaires outside my door waiting to teach me. These guys said, if you'll listen to us, we'll teach you how to be rich like us. We'll teach you how to do. If you'll get in business with us, we'll teach you how to do what we've done. And that was music to my ears, and I got in. But you know what? Like most people, right, they get involved in a business, and then they go and they try to do things their own way, right? Here I got millionaires telling me how to do this thing. Meanwhile, I'm so smart that I'm going to do it my way. Well, I like this part, so I'm going to do that, but I don't like that part. I don't like, calling people on the phone and, facing rejection and all that. I won't do that. So I'll just talk to the few people that that look up to me because I make more money than them. And so, I stepped in every pothole you can imagine in this industry. I did everything wrong 2 or 3 times just to make sure it was wrong, right? And I was not an overnight wonder. 3.5 years into the deal, I was wondering what the heck was going on. And then one day I went to an event. And at this event, I heard this guy talk about how he had gone diamond, how he had become a millionaire in 2.5 years. How when he got involved in the business, he was on the verge of bankruptcy. He was a builder, and he was on the verge of bankruptcy, and he looked up on the stage, saw all the diamonds, and he said, you know what, I'm not as sharp as those guys on the stage are, but I can outwork anybody, and if they can do it, I can do it. And he went to work. 2.5 years later, walked across the stage as a diamond, as a millionaire, and and he looked at the audience and he said, ladies and gentlemen, the reason I'm up here and you're not is because you all haven't sold out to your dream. You haven't sold out to your business. You all are walking around out there like you got 18, 20, 30 other opportunities. And I got to tell you, you don't. To have the lifestyle that I have, to have the income that I have in this business, to have the ability to do what I want to do when I want to do it with whomever I want to do it, you don't have those options with whatever else you're doing. And until you realize that and sell out to your business, you are not going to have this. And, I just whacked myself in the head and I said, you know what? He is absolutely right. This guy's talking to me. I mean, how does he know? How does he know? Is he, has he been spying on me? How does he know what I've been doing? And so that day I made the decision. I made the commitment that day to do it. And 28 months later, I was a diamond. Okay, so going from nothing, from literally no organization, I had to start from scratch. And becoming a leader, like Matt was talking about, was one of those things that really that really made all the difference. Because before, people didn't want to follow me, and now everybody wanted to follow me because I knew where I was going. I was committed, and I had this sparkle in my eye. We called it the eye of the tiger. We used to call each other up at 1 o'clock in the morning and see if we're still awake. With playing the eye of the tiger in the background. And I got to tell you, it's all about. I tell people today this: you can be, do, and have anything that you want in life. Anything at all. Anything at all. If, there's a big if you'll develop the mindset and use the strategies of the person who already is, has, and does it. And that's the key. And the reason that if you're watching this here tonight, you need to be at the ANMP convention March 27th through the 30th in Dallas, Texas, is if you want that mindset, if you want to learn what you need to do to take your business and your life to a whole new level, you need to be at that event. It's not negotiable. And I know your company has good events, just like mine has good events, and so forth and so on. But you know what? No company has an event with 30 millionaire speakers. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. This is because there's a group of us that feel so compelled and so committed to giving back, to doing something for this industry and the people in it who are where we used to be, right? Who are where we used to be. And we just feel like we've got to give back. And so this is a pride thing to us. This is, not the bad pride, but this is a pride thing to us of raising the standard in this industry. This is to create leaders like us that can protect this profession, that can take it forward. And what you will get, the value that you will get there this weekend will be unbelievable, unmatched, right? And right now, you're still 21 days out, so you got 21-day cheap air tickets from just about anywhere in the country. Drive, the hotel's $99 a night, the meals are included. You can't stay home for less money and buy food for less money than coming to this event. But the big thing is the speakers and what we're going to teach you. What we're going to teach you there. And at this event, I'm going to teach you how to overcome, and my talk is going to be about how to overcome the big things that are holding you back. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of success. Those, a wise man said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do at that event. And I know that what these other great speakers that have joined us here tonight have got unbelievable training that they're going to give you. Just one of those speakers at that event can change your life. You could hear the thing that you need to change your life. Remember, my whole thing changed. I was sucking wind. I was broke, 3.5 years in the business, sucking wind, okay? Making not even $1,000 a month, ladies and gentlemen. Within 2.5 years, I was making over $50,000 a month, and 2.5 years after that, I was making over $200,000 a month. Okay? I don't say that to brag, just to let you understand that these principles, because what we're talking about is principle. This is not philosophy. This is principles that we're talking about. Laws of the universe, laws of success, that if you will take this stuff and you will apply it to your life and your business, you will transform your life and you will transform your business. So, March 27th through the 30th, Dallas, Texas. The price of the ticket is only $99. Now, if you go to the ANMP website, go ahead, put that up there. If you go to the ANMP website, it's ANMP Convention, A, Apple, N, Nancy, M, Mary, P, Paul, right? Convention.com. If you go to that website, you will see that the tickets are $99. There's a spot on the top that says VIP access. VIP access. Now, the 500 tickets are gone, but we opened up a few more seats because we realized that all of us speakers had bought VIP tickets, okay? And us and our spouses and everything else. So we opened up some extra tickets for the VIP, so there will be some still available if you get there fast enough. Click on the VIP tab on the top at the website, and for $199, you get everything that everybody else gets, plus you get a cocktail reception with the 30 millionaires on Thursday night, and the dinner banquet, the gala dinner banquet, which other people are going to pay $55 or $60, I forget the price, if they want to go to that banquet. You also get it included in the price, plus you will have VIP seating for the entire event. You will have upfront seating at tables for the entire event, and you will be sitting with the millionaire speakers. So the chance to rub shoulders, to rub elbows, to glean information, to just really, and part of it's understanding that we're human too, because you will see, when you see the speakers, you'll see. I mean, you may be in the bathroom. If you're a guy, you may be at a stall, going to the bathroom right beside one of us, and you see, oh God, they go to the bathroom too, I mean, so not to be crass or anything, but we put our pants on one leg at a time. The ladies put on the makeup and lipstick the same way that you do. Okay, we're people, we're human, we're the same as you are, and you need to understand that. You need to understand that. Like Matt said, we can't idolize other people. I look at other people, successful people, and I go, great. God bless them. What God has done for others, He now does for me and more. Okay? And so you look at other people as examples, as shining examples of success, of what you can do. Because I firmly believe this. Anything anybody else can do, you can do too. Anything anybody else can do, I can do too. And so we're going to go see a bunch of winners, a bunch of millionaires, people who have done it, and to prove to ourselves and show to ourselves and be inspired that we can too. Okay? So I look forward to seeing you March 27th through the 30th in Dallas, Texas, and you are going to have the time of your life. And again, I promise you, your life will be transformed that weekend. So we've enjoyed being here with you tonight. This has been phenomenal, fantastic. I think we should do more of these, don't you guys think?
For sure.
For sure, definitely. Fun.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. It was awesome. It was fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
Cheers,
Good night, everyone. See you in Dallas.
I got a lot out of tonight as well.
Yes, I took like half a pad of notes.
Yes.
We're having so much fun, we don't want to go.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
Hey, we can start over and do a second one now.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, anyways, we've enjoyed it, and go to ANMPconvention.com. Sign up right now. Grab one of those last VIP tickets if you can, and we look forward to seeing you in Dallas. God bless, and we will see you soon.
All right. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.